Hi, welcome you all. This is N. Thangavel from the Department of Information Technology, Tyagaraja College of Engineering, Madurai, Tamil Nadu. This video has been created as a part of International FDP on Environment and Sustainability. We have created two videos already in this FDP. In week 1, we have created a video which is related to the sustainable IT infrastructure in green cloud computing. And in week 2, we have created another video which is related to the green cloud computing standards. And for the week 3 and week 4, this video has been created. So what we are going to discuss in this video, here comes the outcomes. After learning through video, the learners or the video watcher or the students will explain the essentials of green cloud computing. Articulate different standards of green cloud computing and their purpose. Calculate carbon emission for different cloud infrastructure. And estimate the sustainability calculation of cloud infrastructure. So, we are going to discuss in detail about each and every concept one by one. Before getting into the term green cloud computing, we all know what is cloud computing, which has become an impressive solution to address the challenges in storage and process of high volume data with low cost, high speed, on demand and pay per use characteristics. Although rapid progression has been recorded in the area of cloud computing and its services, attaining the implementation of green clouds is still under development due to lack of research and several barriers in its implementation. Why? Green clouds are committed to design as eco-friendly, energy efficient, maximum resource utilizable, low carbon emissions, long lasting and recyclable. In order to satisfy the ever-growing enterprise data storage and processing needs, the cloud service providers are coming up with cutting-edge technologies like green cloud computing in cloud architecture design to reduce the huge power consumption, water consumption, need of physical hardware peripherals, infrastructure, and harmful carbon emissions. To protect our environment from cloud negative impacts, the service providers must adopt and update their cloud infrastructure towards green cloud computing. The green cloud computing researchers widely focus on designing of efficient clouds with green characteristics like power management, virtualization, high performance computing, load balancing, green data center, reusability and recyclability. Here comes the characteristics of green cloud computing. These characteristics seems to be quite challengeable in bringing out this green cloud computing to the real world. The first one is on energy efficiency, virtualization, multi-tenancy, consolidation, and eco-friendly. In all these 5 characteristics, we need to monitor and manage the resources as well as the storage and computation. So we have many leading standard organizations in cloud computing like ISO, Cloud Security Alliance, ITU, IETF, SNIA. So they all have standards related to the cloud computing. We have many more standards but seems to be quite lengthy. But we can characterize them into 3 ways. One is on international, another one is on Europe, and third is on Germany. And again, it can be more specifically, we can characterize into general, cloud computing, and ICT or miscellaneous. Since cloud computing or green cloud computing, it seems to be quite related to computation, so we need to consider in all these 3 parameters. So let us discuss some of the standards in detail. The first standard we are going to discuss about is ISO or IEC 17788. which gives the details about the cloud computing, where it gives the definition for the cloud computing, and it also describe what is software as a service, platform as a service, infrastructure as a service, and also it explains the terminology of public and private cloud. This is quite seems to be general. But related to the architecture, we have another standard which is ISO or IEC 17789, which provides a reference architecture where we can have some diagrams and descriptions of how the various aspects of cloud computing relate to one another. For more detail or the list of standards related to the cloud computing, you can refer to this link. And we have some British standards which gives you some details about the data network installation and data protection related to the green cloud computing. The first standard is BSEN 50310-2016, which is a data network installation standard, which gives you a description or a guideline of equipotential bonding and earthening in buildings with information technology equipment. And we have another standard BS 10012-2017, which is related to the data protection, which gives us specification for a personal information management system and a specification for the data related to the customers and the provider, how it need to be stored and utilized. And for more standards related to the green cloud computing or cloud computing, you can refer to this link. And more specifically on green cloud, we have three different standards. The first one is on ISO 27001, which is an information security management system, which ensures the green cloud information security management practices. And CSA Star, which is a Cloud Security Alliance certification, which gives guidelines for security, trust and assurance registry. And the last one is on PCI DSS, that is Payment Card Industry Data Security Standard, which gives the policies and procedures to optimize the security of credit, debit and cash card transactions and protect the card holders against misuse of the personal information. To get more list on green cloud computing standards, you can refer this link. So as of now, we have discussed the two outcomes which you have listed. The first one is on the essentials of green cloud computing, and second one is on the standards of green cloud computing. And we have many more standards for the green cloud computing like ISO, IEC, ETSI, ITU, CNE, LEC, ECMA and IEEE. In order to get details about these standards related to the cloud computing, the viewer can visit to this link. Now let us come to the third outcome of calculating the carbon emission in green cloud infrastructure. Before getting into the calculation, we need to know about the architecture of carbon aware green cloud computing. So in this diagram, we have end user who requests for the service. We have a private cloud setup, internet connectivity as usual, and we also have public cloud A and public cloud B. So all these persons are seems to be the common people available in general cloud computing architecture. In specific to green cloud, we have an important person called green broker who take care about the carbon emission directory and green offer directory. So additional to the cloud service request and response, allocation of resources, job execution, data storage, the hardware that is going to be participated in all these processes need to be monitored and managed. So which will be monitored and managed by the green broker, and it also manage the resources with respect to the carbon emission directory and green offer directory. So how would the green broker manage? So if you take the cloud services and specific to the public, we can categorize them into three ways. One is on software as a service, another one is on platform as a service, and third one is on infrastructure as a service. So in a software as a service, we have user application, and in platform as a service, we have user and infrastructure level platform, and in infrastructure as a service, we will be having the infrastructure. In each type of the services, we need to take care about some of the infrastructure related to the green cloud computing. So in case of software as a service, power capping and green software services need to be monitored. And in case of platform as a service, green profiler, power capping, green pricing, green resource allocation need to be monitored. And in case of infrastructure service, energy and temperature sensors, demand prediction need to be monitored. So how it has been monitored? So all your policies, leasing, scheduling will be done with the brokering. Scheduling and monitoring will be done on private cloud as well as in the public cloud. So as I said already, we will be having a directory which does the CO2 analysis services like cost calculation, CO2 emission calculation, and green information system. And related to the performance, we have quality of service, application profiling, and cloud offers. But related to the green cloud computing, this CO2 analysis services is going to be a major part for the green broker. So how to do a carbon emission calculation in green cloud computing? The carbon footprint of a user request depends on the types of a cloud service it requires. So what is the type of the cloud service? It can be a software as a service, platform as a service, or infrastructure as a service. And is computed as a sum of CO2 emission due to the data transfer and service execution at data center. Software as a service and platform as a services request use CO2 emission per second to reflect long-term usage, while infrastructure as a service requests CO2 emission as data transfer is mostly once. So software as a service and platform as a service request CO2 emission per second has been calculated. So this is the actual formula. So where we'll be calculating the CO2 emission per second. So we have some of the parameters here, where the first parameter is RDT CO2 is the CO2 emission rate per joule of energy spent from the user machine to the data center. And the EDT is nothing but per bit energy consumption of the data transfer. So these two values will be considered and it will be perform multiplication, and this result will be multiplied with ADT. What is the ADT? ADT is the data bits transferred per second. So this product value on the one part, the another part is on RCO2, DCIE and ESERV. RCO2 is nothing but CO2 emission rate where the data center is located. DCIE is the power efficiency of the data center defined as the fraction of total power dissipated that is used for IT resources, and ESERV is the energy spent per second by the server for executing the user request, where RCO2 1 by DCIE and ESERV will be performed multiplication. This is going to be the second part. The first part computation and the second part computation will be performed addition, that is a summation, to compute the CO2 per second of software as a service and platform as a service request. The total power dissipated by a cloud provider is used not only for computers but also for other purposes including power conditioning, heating, ventilating and air conditioning, lighting and wiring. Therefore, DCAE is the most appropriate parameter for selecting cloud providers. In case of infrastructure as a service request, CO2 emission has been calculated with this formula, where we know what is RCO2 DT, EDT, and we know RCO2 DCAE and ESERV, which we have learnt in the previous calculation. The new term here is IO data, where IO data is the data transferred to run application on the VM leased from cloud, and V time is the time for which VM is active. So we need to do the first part calculation with RDT CO2 into EDT multiplied with IO data, and the second part calculation is with RCO2 multiplication with 1 by DCIE into ESERV into V time. The both part calculation need to be performed addition or summation, so that we'll be getting the CO2 emission. So we have a calculator. You can refer this link for the calculator for CO emissions. We have many data centers all over the world, and which has been utilized by various users. For example, we have Google Cloud, Amazon, Azure. So we can calculate the carbon emission for these server using this calculator. In this calculator, you need to give a hardware, runtime and a cloud provider to estimate the carbon impact of your research. So this is the calculation. So the calculation is done by using the formula of carbon emitted is equal to power consumption into time into carbon produced based on the local power kit. So here I have selected the hardware type as Tesla V100, and the hours I have been provided as 12 hours. The first one is on Google Cloud platform in the region of Asia East 1. So the calculation is done as 3.6 kilowatt hours into 0.56 kg EQ CO2 per kilowatts. So the actual CO2 emission is calculated here as 2.02. And similarly for Amazon Web Services in the region of AWS GOV Cloud, we have the emission as 1.08. And for the Azure in the Australia Central region is 3.24. So for this specific hardware type and for the 12 hours, we have this calculation, and we can see the Amazon seems to be best for this particular infrastructure. So we can test for various hardware type and for various hours on these providers using this link. Now let us come to the fourth outcome of calculating the sustainability for the green cloud computing. Before getting into the calculation, let us discuss about the conceptual architecture of sustainability in green cloud computing. In case of cloud computing, we have various data centers. In all these data centers, we have compute, network, storage, application, power and cooling. So these parameters has been considered to evaluate the sustainability models. The sustainability metrics has been considered in case of three dimensions: economic, ecological and social. So how to calculate this? In case of economic, we have server power, storage power, networking power, facility power and support. And in case of ecological, we have carbon emission, water use and resource consumption. And in case of social, we have economic development and socio-political stability. In order to calculate all these parameters, we have a specific sub-parameters which has been given here as an equation. First, let us discuss in the case of economic model. In the economic model, we estimate the cost from computing, storage, networking equipment, facility and IT support as well as energy efficiency. Server, networking and storage equipment power usage is obtained from monitoring data or estimated using power models based on resource usage. How to calculate the server power? So this is the equation to calculate the server power. So we have P server is equal to P idle plus P busy minus P idle into 2U minus U to the power R, where U is the average CPU utilization. P busy and P idle is nothing but the power consumed by the server at idle and their fully utilization stage. And R is a calibration parameter. So using this equation, we can calculate the server power. And in case of networking power, we have the equation of P switch is equal to P chassis plus summation of cards with respect to the P card plus summation of rates with respect to the end ports rate into power of port rate, where P chassis is the power consumed by the switch chassis. P card is the power consumed by the single line card. The variable cards is the summation is the set of line cards in the switch. The variable rates is the next summation is the set of rate settings for the ports. N ports underscore rate is the number of ports set at the rate, and power port underscore rate is the power of the individual port at the rate. So using this equation, we can calculate the networking power. And in case of storage power, the power consumed by the storage power systems is estimated based on the number of disk drives. This is a simplification ignoring the additional power of equipment such as host bus adapters, disk shelves, storage controllers, storage area networking equipment, and power supply inefficiencies thereof. And in case of facility power, that is power delivery plus cooling power, is calculated using power usage effectiveness. That is PUE is equal to IT power plus facility power divided by IT power. And IT support cost is consider the number of servers, homogeneity, redundancy, and the need for skilled labor in estimating the frequency and cost of incident servers. And in case of ecological model, the ecological model includes carbon emission, water use, and resource consumption. And in case of social model, we consider two parameters qualitatively. We consider the potential for economical development and use the overall GDP as well as GDP per capita to represent this opportunity. And the second one is on socio-political stability. So as I already described, so we have formula to calculate on the economic, ecological, and social aspects. So using this formula, the sustainability of the green cloud computing can be calculated. The HP company have designed a dashboard to calculate the sustainable computation. So this is the cloud sustainability dashboard of HP. So where we can have the graph for economical, environmental, and social, and we have the sub parameters also on the dashboard. And we have taken a model which is called OpenCirrus site, so which are distributed across North America, Europe, and Asia with more than 2000 computer servers and approximately 4 PB storage in total. So this scenario has been considered to calculate the sustainability computation. So for more detail, you can refer this link. So this is the actual calculation with respect to economical, ecological, and social perspective. So by considering the parameters on the formula, the calculation has been performed. So if it is green, it seems to be safe. If it is red, we need to consider a lot, and if it is yellow, it's quite stable. So we have 9 different sites. For all the 9 different sites, so we have done calculation on economical, ecological, and social perspective. So as a summary of this video, so we have discussed about the essentials of green cloud computing, and we have discussed about the standards of green cloud computing with their purpose, and we have gone through the equations of carbon emission for different cloud infrastructure, and also we have referred a link to calculate the infrastructure as a service carbon emission, and at last we have discussed about the sustainability calculation of green cloud infrastructure. So thank you for watching.